I'm Tim Sanders, and my role at G2 is Vice President of Research Insights. My laser focus is on artificial intelligence developments. My background is cutting-edge technology change. I was one of Mark Cuban's early stage employees at AudioNet, which became broadcast.com, brought streaming to the mainstream. I was the CSO at Yahoo around the turn of the century, advocating for digital advertising as well as e-commerce. As a consultant, I helped companies champion cloud computing in the later SaaS, the mid-aughts to around 2015, and then I pivoted maybe about 8 years ago hard into artificial intelligence. I'm also the author of 5 books, including Love is the Killer app. I feel like Agentic AI is the game changer of our lifetime. Agentic AI solves a really important problem. I call it the delivery problem, meaning agents actually perform actions. They don't just make us more productive, which means they can help organizations dramatically increase their velocity and create a real competitive advantage. An agent is a complex system that can autonomously act on our behalf using our tools. It has this ability to reason, to plan, to break down tasks. It possesses decision intelligence. Most importantly, it delivers an action. That's what we're seeing now with task agents and process agents, and soon on the horizon, system of agents. These are self-organizing agents that write their own system of records. They can literally swarm to accomplish one of our goals. It's really a question of how much autonomy they really have, how much access to external tools they really have because they can't act without that, and whether they carry memory forward from one experience to the next. When you think about agents, you do have to ask the question, human in the loop. Guardrails is another thing to talk about. From an outcome standpoint, human in the loop is a problem, not a feature. What I mean by that is the more we have to spot check every agent's work, the more friction we put between the agent's autonomy and its ability to really deliver value for our organizations. So I believe that the approach to agentic is to aggressively use new technologies like agentic RAG so that we can widen the guardrails for agents to act autonomously without having to continually check in for approval by humans, because until we do that, they can't actually drive the velocity they're truly capable of. So I believe that in a few years, we will dramatically reduce the human in the loop factor to the point that we will be informed rather than driving the experience. And I think when we get there, agents will help companies do 10x more. And that's where our job's going to change. We're going to become drivers of the age of AI. We're going to become designers. We're going to become people that learn how to express goals in natural language so clearly agents can grasp them and then swarm to deliver them for us. So what it's changing really is our skill set. I talk to leaders a lot about what they have to do to really embrace this age of artificial intelligence, put it to work at their companies. A lot of times they think it's a technology issue. It's really a people issue. So the first piece of advice I give to organizations is put your hands on artificial intelligence. Start using it every single day. Deliberate practice solves distrust. If you create a culture where people are spending 4, 5, 6 hours every week either directly, deliberately practicing AI or reading about it, you flip the trust factor and you're more like Netflix when it came to cloud, early adopter, eventual winner, and a lot less like Blockbuster. Well, I think digital tools have a huge opportunity to increase our productivity by eliminating repetitive work through automation, as well as improving the quality of our work through collaboration. I'm a huge fan of AI search tools, and I'll tell you why. I believe that effective search is table stakes for the new economy. I mean, you generation down to a Z, they've got absolutely no patience for a search that doesn't have the functionality of Google. I can't tell you how many times I've interviewed executives who say, we're all in on AI, and the first thing I look at is their search instance, either externally or internally. And if it doesn't work, I'm telling them, you're literally still stuck at 1 on the journey of AI adoption. For today's company to truly scale, they've got to systematically infuse prediction machines, artificial intelligence throughout their stack, and they need to start experimenting today with agentic AI because that's going to be the lever of scale. The way to stay in that game is this constant evolution of how are we moving faster into the age of AI, not only at a cultural level, but by looking at every one of our workflows and asking how can prediction machines either accelerate the velocity or improve the customer outcome. That mentality is how you're going to win in the future. You know, I've known Mark Cuban since the 1990s, even before he had kids, but I recently heard that he'd suggested his children learn prompt engineering as a primary talent. I mean, yes, in 2025, that would be very good advice. Oftentimes, I find the better we are at talking to large language models like I'm talking to you right now, and then learning something from every conversation and the resulting output, the better we get at prompt engineering. Prompt engineering today will simply be goal expression within a year or two as reasoning models become better and better and better at planning. You see, oftentimes the reason we've had to be prompt engineers is because before reasoning models, they didn't really know how to plan. So you had to say, this is your role, this is your goal, this is your context, these are your warnings, and this is your assignment. Now you say, this is my goal, but you've got to be really good at using natural language to describe your goal and then provide context of what that goal looks like. Reasoning models will solve everything from there. So I see a massive shift coming. This is how the world of dealing with LLMs is going to change as we enter that era of reasoning models, which I think are going to change everything and unlock agentic AI.